first ranked matchup for Ohio State this year, second for Georgia Tech. Yellow Jackets' third match. Ohio State's fourth. The Covelli Center rocking. Sixth in attendance last year was Ohio State, led by Jen Flynn Oldenburg, a graduate of Ohio State and the Stars setter, graduating in 2001. Meanwhile, Michelle Collier in her 10th year for the Yellow Jackets, fifth all-time in D1 history in kills. She's developed 7 All-Americans. And Bella D'Amico, the senior out of Westerville, Ohio, a Columbus area native, gonna get things started in her hometown.
Yeah, it's a bit of a homecoming, so you know she might have some jitters feeling it, might have some family in the arena, but she's on the side of Yellow Jackets no matter what.
Away we go between Georgia Tech and Ohio State, and Chelsea Thorpe collects the first kill.
And you gotta start it off quick. You don't play in the entire 2020 season, and Chelsea Thorpe says, I'm going to show it off right here. You're going to give us some good talent, and I'm going to dominate.
Well, Chelsea Thorpe really burst onto the scene in her first 3 college matches last weekend.
I mean, yeah, 31 kills, 2 blocks, 2 assists while at it as well. She's been on a field day.
And Riley Rader will come up empty at the service line, knotted up at 1 early on. Hey, you go back to Chelsea Thorpe, named to that all-tournament team at NKU, one of 3 Buckeyes to do that. The others, Emily London and Mia Tuman, the Big Ten player and Big Ten setter of the week, respectively. Here's the junior, Bianca Bertolino, and she's got a service error. Bertolino coming off her 15th career double-double for the Yellow Jackets in that 3-1 win over Penn State. One of 2 captains for this Yellow Jackets squad.
Also sitting at over 20 kills just through the short season. I mean, they're being dominant already.
Point collected by Tamara Otene. Also a double-double for her with 17 kills and 15 digs against the Nittany Lions. An impact transfer last year, and she'll send Liv Mogridge to the service line. Another transfer out of North Carolina. Just inches over the end line.
And speaking of Mogridge, she's got that USF connection. Her father is actually the O-line and assistant head coach for the football team. And then you look at Coach Collier, that's where she graduated from in 2002. It's got to be something about South Florida.
So a timeout called already. 3-2 is our score. Ohio State leading. So what are your keys to this match for both these squads? Let's start off with the team in the lead right now, Ohio State.
I think when you look at it, you really just have to find a way to set up Emily London. I mean, just the domination she had. Big Ten Player of the Week, 57 kills and a double-double against Bowling Green with 10 digs. When you are that unstoppable in your first 3 matches of the season, you got to keep getting it. When you get that nod from the entire conference, you know that Georgia Tech is going to try to stop her any way possible, and that the players around her are going to have to set her up.
What about Georgia Tech?
I think it's much of the same. Is you got to play that balance, but also you got to get Isabella D'Amico, you got to get her involved. 74 assists in their 2 games. Just absolute domination from her as well. You can expect her to be in the main setter for most of the sets in this one. And last year, she was 4th in the ACC with 1,042 assists. She's already well on her way to get to that point.
4th in the ACC in assists. The challenge is in the favor of Ohio State, so that's going to be the service error. It's upheld on the floor. Deandra Pierce, the Texas transfer, a national champion last year with the Longhorns, checks in, and it will be Emily London to serve. Tied 3rd in the country with 57 kills through 3 matches. The setter with a bump set, it's D'Amico. A strike from Otene, and it's wide. Second trip to the service strip for London. We've seen some early service errors through the first 7 points here, Austin.
Yeah, I mean, you got to get the jitters out when you realize the matchup that you're playing against here. Tyler, I don't think in any sport, if you are ranked at all, anytime you go up against another ranked opponent, you're going to be nervous. And if you're going to do it, might as well do it early and let the rest of the game eat.
Larissa Mendez sent it away. D'Amico down the line to Otene. At a point for Ohio State. Well, you talk about the jitters, it goes both ways. Georgia Tech has never played here before. Ohio State losing 5 starters last year. A lot of players on this squad competing in Covelli for the first time.
And we had talked to Coach Collier just a few days ago, and she said, you know, I'm well aware this is the first time we've gone up to Columbus to face Ohio State, and that it is also the home opener. They're well aware that there's going to be that energy. There's going to be some nerve-wracking moments, but she has nothing but utmost confidence in her side to lock in after a couple struggles.
The serve by Otene, the dig by Morbitzer. Tumen to Rader, she's got it to go.
All you need is a little love tap every now and then. You don't have to go full power on it. As long as you just get one finger over and let it drop, sometimes it pinballs around.
First serve for Mia Tumen, the freshman out of Sewickley, Pennsylvania, the reigning Big Ten setter of the week in her first year of college volleyball. And sails it over for a service error. What a start to the campaign and career she had last weekend.
116 assists. Let that sink in for just a half second. The fact that you can do that in 3 matches, it's otherworldly.
Pimentel served. Thorpe steps into it. D'Amico corrals it. Bertolino had it rejected. Georgia Tech recalibrates. Off the hands of Taylor. Thorpe. And a 2-hand stop by Otene. Grace Egan, the freshman. Welcome to Covelli.
Get the energy back on your side. What a rally. Just that poke back slam off the fingertips. What are you going to do if you're Georgia Tech? He just went for 15 seconds straight back and forth, and somebody had the upper hand, and it was Ohio State.
Egan, a freshman out of Sterling, Illinois. Diving dig by Otene. They play it forward for Bertolino. And Bianca Bertolino, the captain, anchors a GT point.
All ACC second team last year, played in every single match, all 29, 202 kills, 356 digs.
And it seems like she always shines the brightest against some of the top opponents. Rader, diving dig by Pimentel. Egan up for Tumen, a mid-air Raider, couldn't knock it home. Here's Mogridge. Hands at the net. Ohio State touched it last. Tied up at 7 early on.
And you could see Coach Collier immediately walked over to the line judges and the pin judges and said, look, it was right there just off the fingertips. It went our way, and then she got the lucky call.
Here comes the service from D'Amico, and it slithers through for a Tech ace.
And that's where those points, Tyler, you got to look at it. Grace Egan, she just had that great kill, but then you get back to it. You still are a freshman, just finding your footing. You're going to slip up a little bit, but she's already been so successful in a Buckeye uniform.
Tumen in the middle, got it to the outside, and Thorpe gets it off the block.
My goodness. What do you say to that? Go to the pin. How you doing? Goes off the back shoulder.
Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Mia Tumen collects her 4th assist. Chelsea Thorpe with her 2nd kill. Back pass over for Bertolino. A free ball is executed to perfection.
Already so back and forth here, Tyler. I mean, just keep on flip-flopping. Would not be surprised to see that for the entire match here. I mean, both teams are so dominant, whether the past few years or going into this one as well.
Bertolino serves, kept alive by Egan. Down to Londa, smothered by Bertolino. And Larissa Mendez, the freshman, making an impact early. This is a player that a lot of people have had their eyes on out of Fortaleza, Brazil.
She was on the under-21 South American Championship team for Brazil. She's got that cold-blooded mentality that most of the international players do, and it's seen a lot for Georgia Tech. A lot of their program is international.
Eloise Brandewie got her first attack, but Georgia Tech gets the kill, and it's the middle, Liv Mogridge, extending the lead to 3.
A Chapel Hill transfer as well. Kind of going all around the ACC. You see how dominant they are just in all sports in general. Just wanted to get a little bit of a change of pace and maybe some new scenery, and it's worked out well for her.
Couple 5-power transfers to replenish a Yellow Jackets squad that made it to the second round last year. The Buckeyes are going to get it back. It'll be Sarah Sue Morbitzer to serve, and what a career arc it's been for the former walk-on, now scholarship player, and current captain.
And definitely so, Tyler. I mean, she finally got on scholarship last spring and said, you know, it's always been great to put Block O on my chest, but now being able to do it, no strings attached, and just off the court itself, you know, has tetralogy of Fallot, which is a heart condition with the valves that doesn't allow oxygen-rich blood to flow through her body. Has gotten a couple surgeries for it as well, but she's really just on the forefront of making it an impact in the community, and even had the team kind of go around, do a couple charity events, even met a fan. Went all the way from Wisconsin down to Northwestern to see her. She said she had never met her in her life, but they had the same connection and said, you know, I could feel she really wants to get better and wants to help this community, and I'm along there with her.
Impact maker on and off the floor. Mogridge served it. Londot corralled it. Egan had it knocked down off the tape. So Georgia Tech, what have you seen from them in a ferocious start to the first?
Just the way they're playing, they're not allowing the rallies to really get in their heads. They're just playing it like every single time it's a one-over, and just don't think about it and get rid of it. I mean, we've even seen D'Amico on a couple of these plays. She's turning around before the ball is even on her side of the court. She's so confident that it is going to be an error, and then when it is, she just looks even better. She probably has a couple steps ahead of us up here.
That's for sure. Both squads now, with that service error from Mogridge, have 4 errors apiece. Londot will go back to the line. D'Amico dishes. Knocked down off the double block of Egan and Brandewie.
Egan is getting involved already. Right off that left hand, just sends it right down into the earth. And you can't really use your foot on that one.
Brandewie had a team-high 8 blocks in her first 3 collegiate matches. D'Amico the give, the spike by O today. The Yellow Jackets expand that lead to 2.
And we knew her domination at Illinois State before she transferred just a couple of years ago. And it's really coming to fruition, and on a national stage at that, the entire country is going to know the name of Tamara Otene.
Former NBC Player of the Year. Egan, too strong. Otene played for a strong Illinois State team. First Redbird since 2014 to be named an All-American. And we will get a stoppage in action. So here at this break, it's a 3-point lead for Georgia Tech, out-hitting Ohio State 313 to 154. And we'll quickly pause here on Big Ten Plus.